Hello guys, today we'll be talking about the next episode of The Flash called Sight Unseen. This episode's pretty solid too. This episode released on January 10th, 1991, so this is the first episode in next year of this series. It's about 48 minutes long. It has 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb with about 100-ish user votes. It guest stars, and I didn't mention this in the last episode, but in case you're curious on the main stars, it's just watching the pilot episode because I talk about them in there. The guest star in this episode is Christopher Neame, name or Neam. I can't pronounce it. He was in License to Kill, and he was also guest starred as a villain in multiple sci-fi TV series, including this one. I also saw Star Trek and Doctor Who too. He's very good in this. And the episode is directed by Christopher Leach, who wrote Universal Soldier, and directed some CSI crime scene investigation episodes too, and Teen Wolf 2, apparently. So this episode, the thing about this episode is, I think this is the first villain I've seen. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching the series. Maybe I could be forgetting one, because this is pretty well into the series at this point. But this is the first villain that I thought had a lot of depth to him without becoming an anti-hero. As much depth you can put into a villain without him becoming an anti-hero, in my opinion. Because he has, and the costume for him is pretty good too. It's the thing with this guy is that he's not flashy. He definitely has kind of a costume look to him, but it's not to a point where he's like, he's a super villain. It's kind of more, that's his look kind of thing. And yeah, he's a great actor, and the writing in this episode's great, and it really shows how the Flash, how willing he is to try to save everyone, including the bad guy. And this one just shows like it's tough, and I really liked this episode, and I really liked it felt like there definitely felt high tension. Not high tension is maybe not high tension, but there was definitely intensity to it that I liked a lot. And the characters, it executes everything like all the Flash episodes have executed, like writing, direction, effects, and all that. I just love the dialogue exchange, the ethics exchanged by the hero and the villain, and all that. It's very interesting, and I really liked it a lot. And it kind of makes you think a little bit on like motivations of characters and all that. There's not much I can say about it. It's just another well done Flash episode, 1990 Flash episode with everything well executed, and a good villain that has some complexity to him. That has some complexity to him. I don't know if he's the most complex villain in the series. I think that title may belong to a different villain that we'll get to later on. But he definitely does have some motivations that could definitely be understandable. And I think that just shows how ambitious they are. Now, I don't know if he exists in the comics or not. If anyone knows in the comics, the Commons, leave me alone. I think the character he plays, I think his last name's Gideon. So take a look at that if you can. Now, I will say this show, that's a side note, this show isn't afraid to use comic book names for their characters, which I like, because for some reason some of these shows, they'll have the characters looking everything down, but they won't say their name. Especially the villain. I'm just like, why are you afraid to have the name in there? Just throw it in somehow. You can do it. You're writers. You're professional writers. You can think of a way. but yeah, I really liked this episode a lot. It did a good job of just doing a very good complex villain and doing it in a nice, well done way, executing all the things they always execute, and yeah, it was a really good episode. And yeah, not a skip. Definitely watch. Um, and yeah, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.